After winning the amazing race, Kim and I realized that we could win at anything as long as we work together. Now, we want to unlock that win at anything potential in you.
Chip and I are so inspired by promoting happy, healthy, and thriving relationships.
Oh, you can't be sounding all coquettish, girl. You know how you expect me to concentrate on anything, but you know what?
You're so cute.
Welcome to this episode of My Queen and I. Welcome, you guys. How you feeling today, baby girl?
Hey there. I'm feeling good. But guess why I really am feeling good? You must not realize it.
What?
Because you hate to be 20s, and we 20s.
Oh,
Yay!
my God. You know, I actually hate that.
I know you do.
Kim, you know, you get on my case all the time, but every time I have on a shirt and you sneak on the same shirt as me, I'll go and change. But now she has me wearing the exact same shirt. So
I love it too.
Hey, for those of you who don't know, I'm Chip and this is my beautiful wife, my queen, Kim. And today is episode 2 of My Queen and I. And the title of today's episode is what, Kim?
Deal breakers.
Deal breakers. So we are going to be discussing those and how to either steer away from them or how to get around them and get over them. And then also we're going to let you know that we're really super realistic on some of these, and there are deal breakers for me. So it's not like, you know, anything that happens, we will be able to overcome. And Kim, I think I'm going to be stating some opinions that you may not know about me. So,
well, I can't wait to hear. But this is a broad spectrum. What we did was reach out to quite a vast number of people. We scoured the internet. These are the top deal breakers that keep coming, you know, into play, that most people think these are the ones that have ruined their relationships.
Right. These deal breakers are ones that have pretty much caused divorce or separation or loveless marriages. So, and I don't know which one of those are the worst, but even though I understand that a divorce is worse than death, because in death, the person's out of your life, you miss them, but a divorce, man, you get betrayed by the person you love the very most, and they mostly turn out ugly, disgusting, and you guys, you have to know that that's why Kim and I are so adamant and so passionate about My Queen and I, because we want all of you to realize the value and power and goodness and greatness of a thriving marriage, as opposed to the very person you pledged your life to, that you hooked your star to. They become your biggest enemy, who they know all of your secrets. They know where all of the bodies are buried, if you will. And you're going to get a break up from that. It's gut wrenching. So guess what? I've already experienced divorce through other people. So I don't want it.
No, it's so hurtful, and I just can't even imagine it.
Kim and I, one of the biggest things is we learn to fight fair. And Kim's in my path, admittedly, have been as smooth and as bright and as happy and as thriving if we would have delved deeply into these deal breakers.
Right, or allowed the so-called deal breaker to be a deal breaker, because we're going to be honest with you, we've experienced probably some of these deal breakers.
Right. Yeah, we definitely have. We definitely have. So here are the deal breakers that we've discussed with others, and also we've scoured the internet. But the first one, the number one, the one that you can't do without when you're talking about deal breakers, infidelity. Infidelity is one that would be extremely hard to get over. However, okay, since we love these people who are listening to us, Kim, let's share a little slice of our life. There was infidelity that happened in our relationship, and it was before we got married.
Before marriage.
And we were dating. We were in love. We just got back. We had just gotten back from Jamaica. Long story short, Kim and I find out that I have a 3-year-old son, and we met him when I was 3, and when he was 3, and Kim had to, and I'm cutting out a lot here because it's not important, the story. When I told my mother that this young lady had said that the son was mine, I said, hey, she's not telling the truth. We only did it once. So, you can't have a baby if you only do it once. My mom told me, she said, Chip, you better tell Kim, because if somebody else tells Kim, that could be a real problem. And sure enough, I did listen to my mother like I always did. And Kim, first thing Kim said was, let's go see him. And I said, Kim, we're not going to see that, man, that girl lying, da-da-da. Man, Kim and I got in my 280Z and we drove over to tell that girl she was lying, and that little boy was outside playing. And this little boy looked like me so much that if you guys were on a trip in Paris somewhere, you would send me a text and say, hey, Chip, there's this little boy, looks just like he was my son.
Looked exactly like you.
So
it was unreal, but it was beautiful.
Right. Just so you know, even though the boy was 3, Kim and I had been dating for 5 years by that time.
Yeah.
So it was during our dating time.
Right.
So.
When we were really in love, I thought, but that wasn't the only one time. He said one time, okay. If he talked about all the other times,
God,
now
Kim.
the only reason why we're probably sitting here because he was an infidel, and I guess I might have been too. So, I mean, it goes both ways. I had an issue too. So, it was both of us. Don't act like you're just hearing this for the first time. Okay, stop. But that was before we were married. Okay, stop. Stop. We might be cutting this show real short, huh?
Okay. Here's the deal. Okay. So it was a great run, Kim, and the second and final show. Thank you guys for joining us on The Queen That Was. You did what? You was it, Kim.
Be quiet.
Wait, you didn't let the cameras trick your butt. What happened? What did you do? Now tell the people what you did.
Same thing that you did.
You got a baby?
No.
Oh. Okay. All right. I'm going to move on to the next one.
Next one.
You guys, here's what you got to know. First of all, I'm in shock. No, I'm just kidding. No, but you got to know that you can't get over deal breakers. And I'm shaking right now because I didn't know that my baby wasn't pure. But we'll talk about this afterward. And wait, let's hope we have episode 3, okay? But okay, let's move on to the next one. I think we've exhausted that one. The number 2 deal breaker, and I don't know this for a fact, but I would think it would be either 1 or 2. Infidelity would be 1 or 2, and this one, physical abuse. Now that's a deal breaker. Yeah. That is a deal breaker, and you want to steer as far away from that as possible. And we have never had physical abuse coming from Chip to Kim, ever. Now, Kim?
When have I done physical abuse? Okay, Are you talking about, when we were dating?
No. Okay, how about, well, maybe let me ask you guys, I'm out here and you guys can comment. While we were dating, we're going to go into this really swanky event where I was wearing formal wear, and I come to pick up Kim, and she was just beautiful, and her hair was just always just in great shape. She just was looking good at all times, just was fine, and she's still fine, but in the day, woo. So I come to pick her up to go to this formal, and she had her hair back in a bun. And we got into my 280Z, and I let her in on her door, on her side, and then I went around to my side and closed the door, and then I said, "Damn, Kim, you gonna have your hair pulled back in one?" She reached over with both of her hands and went wham and knocked my head so hard up against my window that the window dang near broke, and it gave me a migraine and tried to kill me.
But you don't think you deserved it? It took a lot of time to slick my nappy hair back in one, in the bun. It took a lot of time back then.
Well, I'll tell you what it did do. I never complained about your hair again. Wait, so that's the one thing physical abuse will do. It will trade, brother. Like however your hair is, I said, "Baby, your hair look delicious. This the best hair I ever seen in my life. I will never. I'll tease about a lot of stuff, but my baby hair always look good because brother don't want his neck broke." Jeez.
Okay, you did bring that up. Okay, I remember.
All right, so we like to have fun and everything, but physical abuse is not tolerated at all, and we don't want me hit like that again. Okay, please, baby.
And I have never hit you like that again.
And because I never talked about your hair again, and I never will again. Yes. The next deal breaker is drug abuse. When it's such a problem that you're not a good employee, you can't be, gainfully employed, you can't function well as a father or a husband.
Yeah, that's mainly, I would say that's more it. The fact that you're doing that, and especially if your children are witnessing that.
Right. And
that's a deal breaker.
And the reason we're bringing up these deal breakers is we're letting people know that as we're talking about having a happy, healthy, thriving marriage, you pretty much have to get rid of these elements in your life. Everything we're mentioning, get rid of them. Don't even try to minimize them. Get rid of infidelity. Get rid of physical abuse. Get rid of drug abuse, because you cannot have a thriving marriage with those in your life.
No, absolutely.
Now, drug abuse, I could tease Kim about a lot of stuff, but we have never had drug abuse issues at all. So we'll just say that you all know what I'm talking about. However, veer away from that if you can. The next deal breaker, not having your spouse's back. Kim, I know Kim has my back. She knows I have hers. That is the foundation of our relationship, is Kim loves her some Chip. You know what that does, guys? That empowers us. That I know she has my back. So that means Kim can get away with anything.
Oh, I can.
Yeah, you can. You do. I mean, she can talk crazy, do whatever, because I know she has my back. So I know what the backdrop of our relationship is. I know she's not doing anything for selfish reasons, anything for self-gain, anything for Kim and Kim only. As a matter of fact, she might have me brainwashed, but I don't think Kim does anything. Baby, I don't think you do anything with just you in mind, except when you sneak off and eat something without me and eat the last of it and don't tell me and I smell it. That's kind of mean, but no, that's you have to have your partner's back. And if Kim doesn't feel that way about me, we got a problem, right?
Yeah, well, remember, we learned early on that I've always wanted the highest for him, and I always have known that he's wanted the highest for me. I mean, that's what has made, I think, our relationship just get better and better, just from that alone.
Kim, we don't hope that you want my highest and I want your highest. We don't think. We are convinced.
Yeah.
It may be a lie, but we're convinced of that lie. I'm just saying it indwells me knowing that my baby got my back.
Yeah, you're not ever gonna do or say anything that's hurtful, or you knowingly are you trying to harm me.
Right.
I just know that that's not in your DNA.
You know that I have a big mouth, so I may say something I go a little too far, but you know it's just me trying to be funny. That's where my queen airs. If I say something stupid as heck, man, I mean, Chip stupid. That's stupid. She knows I'm only trying to be funny. So don't get offended. Just say, guess what she can, Kim does say, all right, boy. And all she has to do is, all right, boy. And that's okay. That was kind of, let me not go down that road too much longer, So, mental and verbal abuse. Never when we're arguing, I don't really malign her and just rip into her and abuse her verbally or just abuse her mentally.
Well, and for a lot of people too, we have found out that the mental and verbal abuse is just as or even more harmful than the physical abuse.
Right, right. Because that moves into the next one. It leads to a loss of self-esteem.
Yeah.
That in itself is a deal breaker. Because if you lose your self-esteem, you can't be any good to anybody, especially yourself. Wouldn't it be a shame if me as your husband, if I'm the cause of you losing your self-esteem? Like, for instance, I was the breadwinner, and my wife has chosen to do the most wonderful profession there is, which is being a mother. And so she's raising the kids, but all I ever do is say, hey, listen, I'm tired. You do what I say. I'm the breadwinner. You don't bring a dime. You don't bring any value to this place. All you do is sit home on your butt, not doing anything. So you do what I say. But what if I left you right now, you'd have to be homeless. People say stuff like that to other people. I
can't even imagine. That sounds like a black iron cast skillet.
Well, see, there she goes back to that violence. Look at it.
That's what that sounds like.
But people actually say that to talking about the breadwinner. Who needs to talk about the breadwinner? The next one, Kim, is like one of your
habitual lying. No, that's the deal breaker. When you completely lose trust.
You're untrustworthy to the very person who knows you and you know better than anybody in the world. How could you habitually lie?
And the fact of the matter is, they always know when you're lying. You can't be slick.
Right.
You can't be slick.
Right. And if you think you're not going to get caught in one, not going to get caught or whatever, you may, but it's still, you're lying to yourself and it's just not really great. So just don't lie, just be honest. I feel, stuff that happened before we were married. We've been together 35 years and you would have asked me something, I don't even know what it is, but you would ask me something. Did I do something before we were married or da-da-da-da-da? You know about me. You know I was out there. But for you, if you did go to bed with dozens and dozens of guys, don't now at 35 years of marriage come telling me, baby, I need to get this off my chest. I was a pincushion before I met you.
Okay, so don't expose your dirty laundry.
Yeah, earlier when you was telling me that we did the same thing. Don't say you did the same thing, because my mind makes me feel bad when you said that. I might lie. I'm gonna tell you, I might lie now, because Kim might ask me something. But I'm just making this up. Chip, have you ever slept with any of my cousins? If I did, I'd say, Kim, that is so stupid. Why would I sleep with your cousins? No, it was just your aunt. No, no, but so there are times to lie, but don't be a habitual liar.
And then I'd be crazy to ask something like that 35 years later.
Right.
It's too late.
Right.
It's too.
Right.
I don't need to know.
But on my queen and I, we talk about everything. So I'm just letting people know, don't be a liar. But
Okay, you're right.
But if you lie, you ain't gonna die. But anyway, don't be a liar, okay?
Right, okay.
Whew, I wonder how that one's gonna go with people. The flawed marital relationship priority. And what we mean by that is this is a deal breaker. If you prioritize kids or anything else before your spouse on this earth, your marriage cannot thrive.
No.
It cannot thrive. If I don't place Kim on this earth as my top priority, the person I love more than anybody in this world, my marriage would have been destined for doom.
Well, for one, if you think about it, our union, we are one. So it's like you cannot take half of your body away. I mean, we are one. So you have to prioritize each other, first. Then your children are underneath you. And so many people put their children first. We really, really think that has been the cause of a lot of problems in marriages. Now, we didn't mention it's really God is first. I mean, that is priority. God first, then each other second, husband, wife, then the children and everybody else after that.
Oh, I could have said that better, because when you get these families where, well, I love my kids because I know they're always going to be with me. They're from my blood. Man, when you get that kind of situation, your relationship is destined for doom. The way Kim and I did it is my kids knew, I don't love your mother differently than I love you. I love your mother more than I love you. First God, then Kim, then you. You guys are special in that compartment. What that did was that enabled my kids to have that security of knowing that they couldn't pit me and Kim against each other, because they knew Kim was winning right off the bat. So don't try it. So they never did that. And then also my kids, they want to go out and get a relationship like that.
Exactly. Train them to love their spouses, and put them first.
Here's another little tidbit. Kim and I are empty nesters now. Ooh, Jesus. Like other people, I miss the kids. I don't miss the kids. I see the kids. I see the kids when I get to see the kids, but I'm an empty nester walking around just doing my little dance, doing it the way I want to do it, Look at Kim getting all excited.
Too much.
Too much info. Okay. Next deal breaker, meddling in-laws. You cannot allow like your parents or your siblings to come in and tamper with your marriage. I'm an only child, and Kim has 5 sisters and 1 brother, and I can admit that they all value that respect.
Yeah.
And Kim, I'll just say that I have to take my hat off. Your sisters have never, ever, ever tampered in our relationship.
Well, that's because I felt like our relationship, our marriage was between us. If there was ever an issue, I would never take our issues outside of our marriage. It's something that is sacred to me, and I just never have done that. So it doesn't give them an opportunity to speak in to our relationship.
Right. Kim, I don't know why I just thought about this, but hey, this is our show, and I just thought about it. Somebody just the other day said something about a marriage counselor, or seeking outside help or whatever. What are your thoughts on that? Outside help or counselors or marriage counselors or...
Well,
I can't even fathom it.
It's not a thought, because we've been able to work through the obstacles or any obstacles that we've had. And we learned early on a lot, and we've studied, we've gone through some of the marital training classes,
right,
counseling classes. So maybe
right.
that's
classes,
what it is.
Classes.
You know?
Right. And one thing, since you said it, I'm going to give you guys another tidbit that just really just skyrocketed our marriage towards success. We got faced with this question: what do you get from being right? That question changed our lives. I'm being really silly here, but Kim says, the Spurs won last night. I say, the Lakers won last night. No, you did. And we start arguing, and then all of a sudden we go on the internet, find out the Spurs won. Then she's mad at me, I'm mad at her. Who cares about this? Who cares who won? Who cares?
I sure don't care.
Well, but that was a silly. But guess what, Kim? You and I don't even care about what other people would deem important. Who's right, me or you? We don't care about being right. We really don't. Okay, next deal breaker: sexual intimacy / incompatibility. Now, I will say, I do remember me when we were, years back, where I would complain that I wasn't getting enough. Don't you remember that?
And this was only when we were married, because nothing was done before that. Right?
Oh no, you was up and out of both draw legs before we got married. That I do mean I don't know more. That's no, but I do remember there was a time, but
you do?
I remember. No, Kim, there was a time when I would complain. It wasn't that big of an issue. Or you don't even remember.
It couldn't have been. When have I told you no? Why the look on your face?
No, Kim, I'm not even talking about, because no, I do have to admit, Kim, you don't say no because, because like, it don't matter. Because, not that I take anything, okay. But then our specific deal is, and you guys gonna think I'm crazy, but it's like we getting tighter with each other right now. My thing is, Kim will say, I'm tired. I say, well, baby, that's okay. You can be tired. She say, I'm sleepy. I say, shit, baby, that's okay. You can be asleep.
So what's I wrong could be with a me? Stone log or something.
Who cares if it's his best couch? I just lost my whole audience. Okay, bye. See y'all later. It was fun.
But seriously, it is an issue and a deal breaker for a lot of relationships. But it seems like to me there's a way to get through that.
Right. If women, I think, and Kim, you have to speak on this more because you actually are a woman. But women, I think, you guys need to be stimulated not only in bed and by sexual arousal, but emotional arousal.
There you go.
When we have the things that we have, where you do know that I want your highest, where I am respectful to you, where I'll say things all day long, like she'll do something silly, and then I'll say, Kim, is UCLA accredited? See, that's why I could tease her. My baby graduated from UCLA college, so I could tease her saying that she's, does something crazy. So we could tease like that.
Well, too, you have to realize a lot of women see it as a duty. It's their job.
Right. So talk about your friend. Don't mention the name, but your friend.
No, that it's a duty. It's a job. They have to schedule it out to fit in to all the chores. But you mentioned, guess what? If you guys did foreplay, women need to hear. They need the touch. There's a lot that goes into it before the actual act, and we'll get into that later. But I think women need some sort of stimulation, to complete the act all the time. I mean, it can't just be sex for sex sake. There needs to be romantic stuff that happens before.
Right.
You know?
That's why it's important for people to know their spouse's love language. And so, like, for instance, for you, Kim, your back rub. Wait.
Yeah,
I'm going to be. See, hey, that's why you guys are going to be listening to us, because we lay it all on the line. Kim has never once, I think. Yeah, I don't think she's ever said, "Honey, let's make love," or "Honey, I feel like honey, guess what Kim says? Rub my back. She, boy.
That's all you need to do. Start off with that.
Man, that's
nice,
like
light touch.
Swing. Okay. You want me to rub your back, baby? Yeah, okay. Wait, I bet not catch nobody touching my wife's back now. I just thought about that. All right. This is another huge one. We have it listed as spouse who is always missing. But what we mean by that is someone who is always unaccounted for, someone who always has to golf all the time. And when they're not golfing, they always have to be with the boys. I need my me time. They have more getaway time than they do have spouse time. Guys, I may not have much of a male audience after saying this, but if you want a thriving marriage, your time of when you have free time, if you weigh that and your free time is spent way more with other people, mainly dudes, than with your wife, you're not going to have a thriving marriage. Set the barometer where you enjoy spending time with your spouse.
There you go. You could even set a weekly date night. That's really good. But for us, what has worked is when we do what? We watch our reality TV shows together, right? I mean, we love doing that. I mean, that's what I love. And guess what? It's free.
Kim and I, you can't even call what we love to do hobbies. We love to double date. We love to go out to dinner. We love to go to fun parties. We love to eat.
That's a hobby.
Eating. And we love to look at the CBS reality shows. We love The Amazing Race, of course, Survivor, and Big Brother. And other than that, she looks at TV shows that I don't have any interest in, and I look at ones she doesn't have any interest in. Kim doesn't like to go to the movies, so we don't have any hobbies, so we just love double dating. Oh, that's going to be another aspect to my queen and I. We're going to be double dating with people and it's going to be some cool stuff we have coming up too. The next one, silent treatment. That will not work, where you are so upset with your spouse that you can't even talk with them. You don't even want to. That is hurting your relationship.
That's so hurtful. I even think that's more abusive than the mental, anguish. I mean, when you just completely ignore them, don't communicate at all.
And it's almost fueling the fire. Why am I silent? The reason I'm silent is because every time I talk, he is verbally abusive. So then you got the verbally abusive and the silent, and then it just feeds. So that boom, marriage set for doom. So steer away from both of them. And the last deal breaker is one that we are so very familiar with, and that is financial disaster. More couples have broken up because of finances or the lack thereof. And Kim and I our relationship has been fraught with feast and famine. And we hate that second F, but we've experienced it so much.
Feast.
So we are authorities on the financial problems. And guess what, you guys? Kim and I have been without money to the extent that, like, we couldn't even go to dinner with people for real because we haven't had enough money even to go to dinner. One of my funny little things, and I don't know why I had to say this thing, is one time, because we made it fun, one time it was one of the hottest days of the year in the history of Southern California, and we were with the kids, and we had to drive into Los Angeles in a car, our little Prius, where the air conditioner went out. So Kim, as sweet as she is, she went and got those little water bottles with the windmill on it, with the little fan on it, and where you squirt the water on your face, and got 4 bottles for me, Kristen, and CJ and Kim. And we're going into Los Angeles. And when we rolled down the windows, it was so hot that it was blistering heat coming in, and we're squirting. And then when we rolled up the windows, we were suffocating. So we actually, as a family, we laughed all the way into Los Angeles, and we will never forget that bonding experience. That's how broke we were. But
we put that priority as one of our last priorities. The financial stuff doesn't matter as long as we're happy. That's way more important. I mean, that other stuff, that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
because you'll get the finances at some point.
Oh yeah. We know that. You always have that hope and that faith. But as long as when things are really rough, I just look at Kim. I say, "Baby, are we gonna be cool?" And she's like, "Chip, come on now." And she just assures me, well, look at with that. You guys, if you're just on the podcast, you may need to go and look at the YouTube to see how. Look at that, my baby, little fine smile. That smile will get you through a lot. She sticks with her man because she could easily say, "You the man of this family. You could da 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 da," but she's never ever done that. And unbeknownst to me, but I don't think she's ever espoused that to anybody else either. You guys, I'll tell you, Kim, would you want to say anything else to that? Because I think.
No, I mean, you said it all.
Ooh, I love when she says I said it all. But all in all, the reason we wanted to have this deal breaker episode was to let you guys know that when we're talking, we are not talking as if everything is peaches and cream and pie in the sky, in our marriage or any marriage, and it never will be. However, if you stay away from these deal breakers, you could tap into the richness, the power, the opulence of a great marriage. And like I'm going to say to you each and every week as we part, when she's truly your queen, you both will experience a slice of heaven right here on earth. We love you guys. Thank you. The sponsor of this episode of My Queen and I was Dynamic Traits in Living Color. Ever wonder why people annoy you? Want a better understanding of why people do some of the things they do? Wouldn't you like to create harmony with the people you live, work, and play with? Go to the Apple App Store and download Dynamic Traits in Living Color right now. Bring out the best in you and the people you do life with. Android app available soon.